Of 7th A. Today I'm gonna make a pinhole camera for Creative Mind Lab. The pinhole camera is used to capture the sunlight for a long period of time. The material required to make a pinhole camera are. Let's start making the pinhole camera. The pinhole camera is amazing in its simplicity. It has a light-proof container with light-sensitive material at one end and a pinhole at the other. Pinhole cameras are characterized by the fact that they do not have any lens. When the shutter is open, light shines through the imprint and image on photographic paper or film placed at the back of the camera. Pinhole cameras work on the principle of rectilinear propagation of the light. This makes an image appear upside down in the camera, like in the camera. Thank you.
Elocution I am from Standard 7C. My aim is to prove how different viscosity of liquids impacts the strength of the magnet. Let's start. Here I am having 4 glasses. First water, second oil, third cornstarch, fourth boiled cornstarch. Further, I will put 2 pins in each of glasses. This is because corn syrup has a high viscosity and provides a lot of resistance to the paper clips moving through it. The magnet still attracts the paper clips in each of scanners, but the experiment shows how the viscosity of liquids impacts fast or slow. I hope you understand this video. Thank you.
I am from 7C House Red and my project name is Earthquake Alarm. So these are the parts I will use in my project. We can't yet predict earthquakes, but we may be able to detect their shakes to save ourselves. Earth crust is made up of tectonic plates, and when they move against each other, they create vibration, seismic waves. These vibrations are captured on seismic centers, and therein they transmit this information to the processing centers and send out warnings to the cities. My earthquake alarm works the same way. Whenever the bolt moves or the alarm moves, the alarm will beep because of the information of vibration sent by the copper wire to the buzzer to beep, which means whenever I will on the switch or make the buzzer move little bit or make the model move little bit, the alarm will beep like this. See now the bolt is not moving, so that's why alarm is not. Thank you.
Selvi from class 7C, and today I will be explaining how to make a low cost power bank at home which can be used during emergency when there is no electricity. For making this power bank, we need a 9-volt battery, a circuit board with capacitor, and a voltage regulator which is used to maintain a fixed voltage of 5 volt at the output, which is required to charge a mobile phone. Here is a connector. A switch is attached to it. Now we need to attach the components. Now I need to connect this red wire to the positive terminal of the circuit. Now I have connected the red wire to the positive terminal. Now I will connect the black wire to the negative terminal of the circuit. Now I have connected the black wire to the negative terminal. The positive terminal of the battery is connected to input of the circuit, and the negative terminal of the battery is connected to the output of the circuit. A USB port is already given in the circuit. Let me now arrange this circuit into a cardboard box. I have arranged all the components in a rectangular box. Let us now test it out. First, I will on the switch and connect the first end of the USB to the charger and the second end on the phone. Now as you all can see, the phone is charging. This power bank can be made very easily at home and can be carried while you are traveling. Thank you for watching.
And everyone. I'm Akash Rani from 7C. I'm
Newton's third law of motion. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Today I am going to explain how water rocket works. It is based on Newton's law of motion. A rocket will remain on the launch pad until an unbalanced force is exerted, propelling the rocket upward. The amount of force depends upon how much air is pumped inside the rocket. You can increase the force further by adding a small amount of water, which increases the mass expelled by the air pressure in the rocket. Finally, the action force of the air and water as it rushes out of the nozzle creates an equal and opposite reaction force propelling the rocket upward. Thank you.
Lightning registers electricity when the accumulation of electric charges at one end of the terminal is high. It overcomes the insulating properties of air. When this happens, a stream of negative charges cuts through air towards the positive charges, forming an electric arc. The same principle as lightning. When I keep a wooden scale in between, the flow of charge is cut. Thank you.
Standard 70 and my project the air purifier. This is how I assembled the air purifier. Purifier functions. The air is sucked into these inlets with the help of the suction fan. Polluted is then pushed out by these two fans towards the outlet. Before going out, the air is filtered 4 times. The first filter absorbs the heaviest particle, the second filter absorbs the bit smaller particles, the third filter absorbs the microparticles, the fourth filter absorbs the unpleasant odors, and clean air is released back into the room. Thank you.
And today we'll be understanding the principle of buoyant force. So, we need is 4 glasses and 4 lemons. We start by adding salt to each of the glass. So we add 1 teaspoon of salt in the first glass and put the lemon in. We can see that it is afloat in the bottom. The next, we add 2 teaspoons of salt in the second one. Then mix it. And put the lemon in. We can see that it is floating and has not sunk in the bottom. Now we add more teaspoons of salt in the last. And mix it. Put the lemon. We can see that it is afloat but not totally out of the layer. We add the most number of salt in the last and mix it. We put the last lemon. Buoyant force is directly proportional to the density of the fluid in which an object is immersed. Denser the fluid, the greater buoyance and the buoyant force. An object whose average density is greater than that of the fluid in which it is submerged tends to sink. If if the object is less dense than the liquid, the force can keep the object afloat. Buoyance or upthrust is an upward force exerted by a fluid. And this is the exact same example of it. In the first one, it's sunk to the bottom. In the second one, it is between the glass. In the third one, it's not totally out but is still afloat. And in the fourth one, it is totally afloat. This is because the water is more dense than the lemon here. Here, the water is more and more dense than the lemon. Here, it is very dense. And here, it is totally saturated with salt. So it is very dense. That is why the lemon is afloat. So here is the example to understand the principle of buoyant or upthrust force. So our experiment is successful.
70 and I belong to yellow house. Have you ever wondered that how do plants take up nutrients and water from the soil? Now I did trick due to capillary action, and today I am going to show you a demonstration of capillary reaction. So first, I have three glasses filled up with waters and of different colors, and 2 glasses are empty. And I have these tissues, so I am going to put them. So now I will wait for 2 hours and I am going to share pictures of every 20 minutes. Observation after 15 minutes. As we can see, the capillary action has started taking place, and there is a little water over here. We are 45 minutes in, and as we can see, the level of water has also risen and the color mixing has also happened. This one is turning into green and this one is observation after 3 hours. As we can see, the water level in all the glasses is almost equal and the color mixtures also happen. Example, blue and red make black and blue and yellow make green. Hence, we conclude that how capillary action is important for plants to take up their nutrients from the soil. Thank you.
I'm going to do hydraulic robotic arm which help us to lift lighter weights. Let's start moving.
In hydraulic robotic arm, we need only control sheets, plastic tag, pipe, cardboard cutout, and a bottle weight and setting. We have to stick 2 strips of cardboard to make the cardboard strong. Afterwards, take a stick and start making holes. It will look like this. Afterward, take a smaller strip and attach it to the bigger one, to both the sides. And take a smaller piece of cardboard and put it on the strip and stick it. And then take a piece of cardboard and attach Take 2 plastic ties and join it. And take second plastic tie. You have to join it with the first and you have to join with the syringe. After tying, you have to take a size of a stick.
the model. It will look like this. And then you have to cut the plastic tag. And then you have to make the hole in the syringe and you have to attach it in the bigger cardboard strip. It will work like this. Afterward, take a second syringe and do the same of plastic bag. Afterward, the full model will work like this.
This is the front view of my lab. This is the internal of the lab. The black box is the receiver. At top of the receiver is the battery. At left and right are the gearboxes, inside of which it contains motor. These gearboxes are connected wide gears, and these wide gears are responsible for the power transmission from gearbox to the wheels similar to gear. This is the circuit diagram. This is a 4-wheel drive car and is controlled by remote control. It has metal detector which can detect metal. So how does the metal detector work? Basically, when the copper coil comes close to a metal piece, then more magnetic field lines start passing through the metal piece, and thus there is a change in resistance of the inductor, and this change is being amplified and outputted to the speaker. So, resistance of coil decreases as metal comes closer to it. This is the video of the car functioning. Carefully hear the sound difference. If you have not heard the sound of the metal being detected, please hear it.
Goal 27. And this is my son. Demonstrate how solar energy can be converted. I am going to show you how much
Matunga from 8th C. Today I am going to present my project on blood circulation in human heart. This is my project of blood circulation in heart. Now let us know what is a heart. A heart is a muscular organ about the size of a fist. It is located just behind and left of the breastbone. The heart pumps blood through the network of arteries and veins called the cardiovascular system. The structure of a heart is responsible for the blood circulation and transportation of nutrients in all parts of body. The system consists of heart and blood vessels running through the entire body. There isn't consist of only one circulatory system, but two, which are connected. Provides blood to organs, tissues, and cells so that they get oxygen. The pulmonary circulation is where the fresh oxygen we breathe in enters the blood, and at the same time carbon dioxide is released. This is how the blood circulates and circulatory system. Let's see the function of heart. In the systemic circulation, the left auricle receives oxygenated blood from the lungs. Then the left auricle contracts and sends the oxygenated blood to the left ventricle. Then the left ventricle pumps oxygenated blood into the aorta with great pressure to reach all body parts. The deoxygenated blood from different parts of body is received in the right auricle, and right auricle contracts and pumps deoxygenated blood into the right ventricle. The right ventricle contracts and deoxygenated blood is pushed into the pulmonary artery, which transports this blood to the lungs for oxygenation. This is how our blood circulates in heart. Thank you.
Dear friends, my name is Alden from 8D. Today I am going to prove that graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Wires, buttons and pencils. First we have to start with the pencils. We need to stick the pencils together. After sticking the pencils, we need to stick them with the battery. Now we have to connect wires with the battery. Now connect wires at one bottom of the pencil. Stick a button at the battery. While you connect the wires, the light turns on. Connect a wire to the button and connect to the bottom of the pencil. Turn on the button, the light goes on. Graphite has delocalized electrons just like metals. These electrons are free to move between the layers in graphite. So, graphite can conduct electricity. The force between the layers in graphite is weak. This means the layers can slide over each other.
Ashura from standard 80, roll number 55. And today I am going to make the model of water dispenser. So let's start. So these are the requirements for the model of water dispenser. So we need an empty plastic bottle, glue, a thick straw, and these are cardboards with centimeters. dispenser and the bottle is filled with water, but the straw is open but the water doesn't flow. That's because of air pressure. But when we open the bottle, as you can see, water starts flowing. So as you can see, water starts flowing, and when we close it, after some time it stops. So this model tells us about air pressure. So when the cap of the bottle was closed, it was blocking the way of air pressure to come inside the bottle. But as we open the bottle, the air pressure enters in and pushes the water below, which makes it flow. But when we again close the cap of the bottle, it again blocks and the water also stops flowing. So this model of mine of water dispenser tells us about air pressure. Thank you.
My name is Aryan Shukla and I am from class 8F, roll number 37, and I am from greenhouse. And my today's topic is how to find the nature or the pH of the three solutions. This is the pH scale. This is a blue litmus paper. If the blue litmus paper turns red in the solution, it means it is acidic. This is a red litmus paper, and if this red litmus paper turns into blue, it means this is a base. Now this is a pH paper, and this, if it turns yellow or green, it means it is neutral. The acidic or basic property of any substance is called nature. Almost every liquid that we come across in our daily lives is either acidic and basic in nature. With the exception of water, this property can be easily checked using a litmus paper. So let's find out. This is a blue litmus paper, and we poured it in water and it remains the same because water is always neutral in nature. Then we poured it in HCl and it turned pink because HCl is acidic in nature. Then we poured it in NaOH and it remained blue because NaOH is a base. Then we poured it in sodium salt and it also remained blue because it is a base in nature. Then we poured it in acetic acid and it turned pink because it is also acid in nature. Now we have the red litmus paper and we poured it in water and it will remain the same because water is always neutral in nature. Then we poured it in HCl and it also remained pink because HCl is acidic in nature. Then we poured it in NaOH and it turned blue because NaOH is base in nature. Then we have the sodium salt and we poured it in and it also turned blue because it is base in nature. Now we have the acetic acid and it turned pink because it is acidic in nature. pH stands for potential of hydrogen, which measures the acidity or alkalinity of water-soluble substances. In a solution where there are more hydrogen ions than hydroxide ions, the solution will be acidic. All the acidic solutions have a pH less than 7. Now this is a pH paper and we poured it in water and it is coming in pH scale at 6. Now we have the HCl and we poured it in water and it turned orange and it is coming between 4 and 5. Now we poured it in NaOH and it turned blue, and in pH scale it is coming between 10 and 11. The solution that has more hydroxide ions in it will be alkaline. All the alkaline solution has a pH of more than 7. Now we poured it in sodium salt and it turned blue. In pH scale it is coming at 9. At last we have the acetic acid and we put the pH paper in it, and in the pH scale it is coming at 5. I hope you understood this experiment nicely. Thank you.
Fernandez from class 8B. My roll number is 9. I am from Red House. My topic is plant cell model. Let me explain it to you. Cell wall. It is the function of a cell wall plastic covering that separates the cell component from outer environment. Nucleus is the most important organelle of the cell. It controls all metabolism activity of the cell and also the cell division. Chloroplasts are important for the photosynthesis process that take place in the leaf. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Maintain the osmotic pressure of the cell. Thank you.
Good morning, one and all, and especially the participants. Dear children, it was indeed a great pleasure in being the judge. I was very happy to see that the difficult concepts were put up so beautifully by you all. Winning or losing is not what matters. What matters is that you all participated wholeheartedly, that too in this virtual platform, to present your project in a short period is highly appreciable. All the best and God bless you all.